Hello and welcome back to another Pop Culture Powerhouse. This week we have got the apprentice of the Great One, Robin, and the apprentice of the greatest Jedi the world has ever seen, Ahsoka Tano. Proper apprentice on apprentice violence here. As always, we've got 6 categories to help us plead our cases for each side. Iconicness, individuality, quality of adaptations, legacy, relatability, and personal preference. Shall we get into it?
I would just want the record to show that Connor refuses for me to have nice things. And he always wants to make me work for it.
See, here's the thing. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised by a couple of my opinions.
Maybe. Well, but I feel like there's somebody knowing our categories with these each week. It's like there's some I know are just an uphill battle for me.
Yeah, but let's be clear. You chose Ahsoka.
I know.
We together decided how this segment works.
I know.
We decided what our categories were, and then you went Ahsoka Tano. I found a comparable style of character. But yes, I must win at all costs. Hello. Is this your first episode? Anyway.
So, Iconicness.
This one I think is the only cut and dry one.
Yes, Ahsoka Tano. No, I know.
Robin is like the sidekick. The reason every other superhero has a sidekick, some worked out and some didn't, but the reason everyone has a sidekick is because every comic book writer wants their own Robin. Yeah. They're like, oh my god, he has this cool little dude who just runs around kicking ass. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like when you think Batman, your brain goes Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's insane.
Robin is the most iconic sidekick ever.
Yes.
Ahsoka Tano is the most, I would say, a fan favorite and iconic, no doubt, within Star Wars.
Yes.
And absolutely. Star Wars fandom.
Do you know what it is? I think the character is just too new to be iconic yet. That is her only real downfall.
And I think she'll never reach Robin level.
Well, I think that's just the disparity on her, and also within Batman mythos, Robin's always been there. She's a late addition to a prequel of Star Wars.
Exactly. I think she'll this is the thing. You ask anyone that's sort of outside of the nerdom realm, when you go, "Oh, do you know who Robin is?" And oh yeah, they'll know it's Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Oh, I'm willing to bet if you play word association with people and go Batman, top 5 for everyone will be Robin.
It'll be Robin or Joker.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
for sure.
You say Ahsoka Tano to someone and they'll be like, huh?
Yeah. I think that's fair.
So yeah, I think Robin no doubt wins in iconicness just because of how big he is as a sidekick.
Individuality. Ahsoka is an incredibly unique Jedi.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, no, she is. And a unique Padawan in that sense as well, compared to many other Padawans.
Well, she's in throughout Clone Wars, she's used as a driving force to show the way Padawans are being treated during wartime, and they're just child soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a very subtle but powerful storytelling device. And you could argue Robin doesn't have a lot of individuality because it's a title that's been held by numerous different people.
Yeah.
Ironically, although each Robin is very unique and has their own distinctive personality, on a pop culture scale, Robin is limited by Batman. It's only when you decide to invest more time into Robin that you see their individuality flourish.
Yeah, and then when they run with that, they then step away from the Robin mantle and become something else.
Their own hero. Yeah, a hero in their own right, exactly. So I think just talk about Robin as a title, which is what we are in this.
Yeah.
I don't think he is that individual.
No, I would agree there.
Because of the nature. Quality of adaptations. Now, this is where Ahsoka's in big trouble.
She's had one. Well, two.
Clone Wars, which is the original, and then her own show.
Well, so three then, 'cause she has been in some comics now and stories after.
Got ya. Yeah, you're not wrong.
But yeah, she was created for the Clone Wars. Dave Filoni's baby, yeah.
I mean, George Lucas was involved in her designing.
He was,
well,
and obviously, like, he trusted Dave. But like, yeah, she was created in a retroactive way, to the films. And yes, she's become a fan favorite, and she's now had a show, which is very like, and she's been in a couple of the Disney shows, and everyone loves her in that.
I think it's pretty solid. I do think the live action Ahsoka is not quite as good as the animated, for a simple reason of when they were animating Obi-Wan and all the Jedi we already knew, they kept their style pretty similar to the actors who played them. So it felt consistent.
I know what you mean.
They didn't have to do that with Ahsoka, so Ahsoka's fucking batshit crazy, and then getting a real life person to do that is not possible.
Yeah.
So
and also
there are some valid-ish criticisms of in her live action performances. Like, she doesn't really fight like Ahsoka, and it's like, well, yeah, no person can do that.
And also, you could kind of look at as well, the live action one is a slightly different adaptation again because it's older Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we don't have a lot of input about what happened in the meantime to see how she's progressed into this person. Still a solid adaptation, do not get me wrong. But
there's not much there.
Super easy. Now, Robin, I feel like gets really difficult because you've got 5, maybe 6 Robins who've mostly all gone off to do their own things at different times. And do they still count as Robin? Because they're always going to be a Robin.
So,
and then you've got all of the films that Robin's appeared in.
My attitude is the films, because there's not a lot of them that have had a Robin. Or is it
I want to say
actually?
3.
I would classify films as an adaptation.
Okay.
I'm okay with saying each different Robin is an adaptation of Robin.
Okay.
Because they then, like you say, become their own heroes. So they are individual characters. Like, they're all done differently. We mentioned that each of them have their own individuality, but obviously when we talked about it, it was just the Robin mantle. So I can get behind each Robin is an adaptation of Robin because they're all slightly done different. Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case, I think the adaptations of Robin are very well done for the most part. The big thing that I love about a Robin is always they are a mirror of a part of Bruce. So Dick was the mirror that showed Bruce how important it was for him to kind of fight crime after what happened to his parents, because Dick went through such a similar thing.
Yeah.
Then you've got Jason, who was like, he had all this anger and nowhere to put it, like Bruce. And what happened to Jason, spoiler alert, the Joker killed him brutally, kind of reminded Bruce why he needs to be able to control his emotions and not be reckless. And then you have Tim, who comes in, and Tim is arguably, I'm going to piss some people off here, a better detective than Bruce. So it's like wow, this kid is smart. And he's actually too smart for his own good, and he needs family around, which Bruce needs, otherwise he becomes unhinged. Then you have Damien, who is he is Bruce's son. He's his own flesh and blood. And he's got to try and take someone who's been raised by the League of Assassins to be violent and deceitful and dangerous and channel that into something good. And then in The Dark Knight Returns, you've got Stephanie Brown, who's just a little kid who wants to help make Gotham better again. And Batman comes out of retirement and kind of takes her under his wing. And sorry, that might have been Carrie. I can't remember. And like all these really good characters that are always, and don't quote me on this, but I feel like a lot of the time it's the bit of Batman that seems a bit weaker. So the bit of Batman that's become kind of like his weak spot is where they slide in that Robin to remind him to keep him upright. It's a brilliant mechanism. You know my opinion on the amount of projects with Batman we've had that don't have Robin, because Robin is a fundamental part of Batman.
Yeah.
If they were to announce a Batman film that didn't have Alfred in it, people would lose their fucking mind.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know how we're letting them get away with no Robin. The films have struggled a lot more to get that right. We had the big issue in Batman Forever, whichever one had the bat nips, which really didn't go well. That went so badly, there was kind of an embargo on Robins that's just never come back. If I ever have enough power in a Batman creative process, the first thing I'm writing on the whiteboard is Robin will be there. The Bat fam he's like so integral to his character.
Yeah.
The quality of Robin adaptations in the comic books, though, alone, as well as the wide-ranging consistency, I think probably does enough to battle against Ahsoka.
Oh,
even taking into account some of the weaker film adaptations.
Yeah, and I think it's also something that we've always said, which is a wider range of adaptations always trumps just like one fairly good, solid adaptation.
Yes. And hopefully, as Ahsoka has more life as a character, we're going to get more and better adaptations, and that character's going to get to flourish. But being around since 1939 or 1940, Robin's had a lot of time to flourish. And like that's the other thing about his relationship with Batman. The character of Batman didn't exist for a whole year before Robin was introduced. Robin was part of Batman inside the first year. Like that's how important Robin is.
Yeah. Legacy.
Speaking of that, legacy. Robin is quite literally legacy. There's, like I said, 5 or 6 Robins. But Ahsoka Tano is the legacy of, and we've done this before, like the greatest Jedi bloodline of training.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It starts off with like Yoda to Dooku, Dooku to Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon to Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan to Anakin, Anakin to Ahsoka.
Yeah, and I mean, there's you've also got to look at that Ahsoka. Every favorite Jedi like then leads to they have their style in the Star Wars fandom. Anakin with Christian was the whole spinning the lightsaber a fuck ton.
Yeah.
Ahsoka was the double blades. And everyone sees double blades and they're like, oh shit, they went Ahsoka Tano mode. And like in Star Wars, it's a pretty solid legacy to leave. She's also like one of the few, at least in live action especially, the only Grey Jedi. Without saying they're Grey Jedi, but we all know it.
Horry's pissing some people off.
I don't give a shit. She is a Grey Jedi after the fact. Like, she has left to be someone that came in after the fact, and everyone is now like, we should have had her from the start. Is a pretty solid legacy to leave behind.
It's very important to just point out, like, there is a big problem in the Star Wars community right now of trying to bring new characters in. The fact that 10 years ago, a bit more, 15 years ago, whatever it is, they managed to make a young female protagonist work is impressive.
I will say, when she was first introduced, Star Wars fandom was like, who is this annoying girl that is now Anakin's Padawan? He never had a Padawan, and now she's beloved by the Star Wars fandom.
Again, she's actually perfect evidence of why, as Star Wars fans, we should sit with stuff for a little while and actually see how we feel instead of these knee-jerk reactions.
But then you've got Robin's legacy.
Yeah.
Which is...
It is the legacy. He is the sidekick as like a legacy for the medium. And then you've also got Robin as a character's legacy of Dick Grayson, who becomes Nightwing, and then that goes into Jason Todd, who arguably was the face of the most iconic comic book story of all time in The Killing Joke or Death in the Family. I always forget which one it is. Then you go on to Tim Drake, who is now getting really popular. The first openly gay Robin, who's now, I don't know if they still are. I believe he's still dating Superman currently. I can't remember. Then you've got Damian Wayne, who's like fucking awesome. Damian Wayne gave us Bat Cow. Bat Cow is canon.
Bat Cow.
Like, come on. Robin is fucking awesome legacy.
Yeah. There's the legacy of Robin and all the characters and what they've then gone on to become.
Well,
and then, like you say, there's the outside of that of like, he is the sidekick. There is like everyone, when you're talking like, oh, I'm the Batman, you're the Robin. Like, there's always that debate
literally
of like,
a saying, yes.
who is your sidekick? Like,
that's been a bit in sitcoms for how long?
Yeah.
Oh, you two are like Batman and Robin. I'm Batman. No, I'm Batman. You're Robin.
Yeah, like, what more of a legacy can you beat that? Like
it's insanity.
Yeah.
Relatability. I relate very heavily to both of these characters because I'm also the younger of two in a very iconic partnership. So the real question is: are you Alfred?
No, wait. I really relate with Ahsoka Tano because, like her, I grew up in the war.
During the war?
No.
Well, Robin grew up in the Great Depression.
True. I think I don't know. I think personally, I relate a bit more with Ahsoka Tano because I think how she reacted to like the Jedi Order and what was going on, I feel like I would also react similarly. If I'm like, hang on a second, you guys aren't all perfect, and you've just training me for war. I'm done with all this.
Yeah. I feel, coming from the background I do with superheroes, that I do inherently relate more to Robin. Robin was designed to be the character that kids relate to when they're reading the comic book. It's like, oh, I could be a superhero like Robin. It's like that is what he, like, don't get me wrong, he evolved into so much more, but that's what he was supposed to be there for. He was supposed to be the kid's mental self insert who gets to go around and fight crime with Batman. I do think Robin, or every Robin that you've had at this point, everyone has a favourite. Everyone who reads comics, it's a question. It's like, who's your Robin? Are you're Dick Grayson? You're Jason Todd? You're Tim Drake? Who you repping? Because each Robin has a dedicated group of people who are who they find relatable, or who find.
Yeah, I feel like
relatable.
When you think about it, Robin is inherently always going to be more relatable because there is every version of person possible to relate to.
There is a Robin for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. I think
have you been killed by a clown? Do I have a Robin for you? Sorry if you have been killed by a clown. That was insensitive.
Personal preference. I think I can guess what yours is, and I think you can guess.
Do you know what it is? No, because we're talking about the mantle of Robin.
Oh.
Ahsoka probably would be my personal preference. Okay. If I get to pick my Robin, it would be Robin. Right. But we have been talking about the mantle of Robin throughout. And Robin as a mantle doesn't speak to me because this sounds so... But it's like, who's under the mask that you actually get the attachment to?
Yeah, I get you.
In sense of pop culture, Robin is Robin. Yeah. But caring about the character comes more down to which Robin you prefer.
I get you.
So as just a character that I care about, it's more Ahsoka. Because that's actually a person. Robin is a piece of cloth.
Mine's Ahsoka.
But shall we tally this up?
Yes.
Iconicness was Robin.
Yep.
Individuality, we said Ahsoka.
Yep.
Quality was Robin. Legacy was Robin.
Yeah.
Relatability was Robin.
Yeah.
Personal preference was Ahsoka, making it 4-2 towards the Robin.
I knew it was going to be difficult to beat Robin.
Robin is in these circles a pop culture powerhouse.
Yeah.
He just is.
Yeah. He is.
But I wanted a character that was similar conceptually to
I get
Ahsoka.
you.
You could make the fucking argument that Robin's legacy includes Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Because any side character to a protagonist is inherently a little bit Robin.
Yeah.
But that is it from us this week. Make sure you like
is.
and subscribe. And we'll catch you next time.
See you next time.
Yeah, we will.